The number one question I get asked every time one of my buyers is buying a home in the area: how are the schools? Are the schools good? And what I would love to be able to go over with you today, very briefly, is the Leander ISD CTE program. And that's the Career and Technical Education program that is put on through the Leander ISD. So most people think high schools are just for preparing kids for college. And that is true more times than others, right? But here in Central Texas, something really interesting is happening. Students in Leander ISD are already working with real businesses, learning real skills, and in some cases even getting paid while they're in school before they graduate, gaining real world experience as a high schooler in maybe a career path that they are focusing on for college. So why does this matter? So for families moving here, as I started with, the biggest question I get from families relocating to Cedar Park, Leander, is the schools. But there's also that other question to ask: are the schools preparing the students for the real world? And I explain that with modern school systems, the students must prepare for college, workforce, entrepreneurship, trade schools, and technology careers. And Leander ISD is doing all of that, which I think is fantastic. So what is a CTE program? Well, actually, it stands for the Career and Technical Education, and it gives students a career pathway while still in high school. And students can explore subjects like healthcare, construction, engineering, marketing, entrepreneurship, graphic design, culinary arts, public service. And through all of these career technical programs that are provided through the Leander ISD, the students can graduate with certifications, real life experience, portfolios, internships. So they turn that real world education into leverage getting into colleges or going straight into a trade. So this is really important. Leander ISD is working really hard partnering with businesses and owners right here in our area, because as I understand it, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this with maybe a high schooler, you tell them, this is really important, you really need to learn this, and this is why you need to learn it. And then they get somebody from outside school, maybe a business owner, maybe somebody that's already in the field that they're working in, and come into class and say, this stuff is important. And the light bulb goes on. The kids are like, oh, I really do need to pay attention to this in school if I want to have this kind of career path for myself. So this is the real partnerships with businesses, which I think is fantastic. Partnering real world business with the high schools, because that creates a great traction, right? You have the businesses saying, we need these kinds of skill sets coming out into the workforce. And the Leander ISD is saying, we're ready to help you prepare those students to come either right out of the gate or be better prepared when they go into college, so that they can come back to Cedar Park and Leander and help our economy grow. So one of the things highlighted by district leadership at the Cedar Park Chamber of Commerce event that I mentioned earlier is how important these business partnerships are. Students can actually work in the industry. Some examples mentioned are guest speakers coming to the school, resume coaching, interview coaching, judge and student projects, industry memberships, and service learning projects. all within the context of Leander ISD and working with the industry together through the CTE program. So this is a huge difference between classroom learning and real world experience, and it's a powerful way to connect the two. And sometimes students hear things differently, like I said earlier, from an outside professional when it comes to the classroom. So one of the things that Leander ISD is doing is Cool Days, COOL days. It's a job shadowing program. And one of the programs discussed is called Career Opportunity on Location, hence the term cool. And students can leave for a day and shadow professionals in real workplace, right? So they get to see what it looks like outside of school. And again, this allows students to explore careers like engineering, healthcare, construction, finance, and technology. These are all industries that are real drivers in Central Texas. Central Texas is a second hub to Silicon Valley with regards to technology. In another video that I did, I went through on Cedar Park specifically, is really focusing on having space exploration business industry focused in on Cedar Park. You've got a lot of industry focusing on AI. You've got the likes of Samsung and other manufacturers here in the Central Texas area that is manufacturing technology. So no matter what flavor you have of technology, you're going to need engineering. You're going to need healthcare. You're going to need construction. You're going to need finance. You're going to need technology. All of these industries that we are bringing to the area, Leander ISD are partnering with businesses to create the workforce that will allow this economy to continue to grow. And more importantly, your child that's going through Leander ISD has a great career path to make good money, to be able to support themselves and be productive citizens of the United States. Isn't that what we want out of our schools? I do. And so through this program, some of the students may not have personal connections with this industry, right? So maybe your child is in an industry and you have no connections. And this also connects kids to people. So if you're writing that application for college and you can get a recommendation from somebody that you worked with that's in the field that you want to be in, isn't that a fantastic idea? So again, this creates great opportunity for all students that want to be in a career technical field. So the internships and apprenticeships that was mentioned at the chamber event, this is where things get super exciting for students and for parents. So some students are actually participating in internships and apprenticeships while in high school. That's pretty cool. So they get time off. They don't get time off, but they have slots allotted to them in high school where they exit and leave the school and they go off and they work in the field that they want to be working in. Maybe making money, maybe not. That's going to be a case-by-case basis, but it's happening. So one of the examples that the Leander ISD presenter was giving was an example. So the city of Cedar Park, right? They have a public works department, right? That's your water. That is your, we do sewage, water, roads, all the things that we need to live in a clean and effective society. So Cedar Park looked at their workforce. They're getting up there, right? They're on the track to retire. Not immediately, but they're on track to retire. They need more in the workforce. So they're actually partnering with Leander ISD with bringing kids in for internships and working in the workforce to see if they're going to be a fit, and they could be immediately working with the city of Cedar Park right out of high school. No student debt, straight into a field that would be able to support them for a lifetime. That is fantastic. And I'm glad that Leander ISD is taking the reins and doing this for its students. So as they partnered with Leander ISD, Cedar Park, they started an apprentice for high school students to get training, earn certificates, gain work experience, and in some cases, some of them got paid. And that's pretty cool if you're in high school getting paid. And then the businesses are developing a future workforce pipeline. See how that works together? The school is working with the workforces here in the local areas, and they're creating a new workforce that's coming up and through that will replace those who, are going off to retire, which is the great cycle within industry. So many Leander ISD pathways end with this capstone practicum class. This is what we're referring back to, these internships. So Leander ISD refers these two as to practicum capstone, right? They're the capstone. You're going to be like a senior. You're going to be doing this as a senior. And the students spend multiple hours a day working in the real workspaces. So they also learn how to build a resume, interview skills, personal finance, workplace professionalism. And some seniors, as I mentioned before, can even work half days while earning school credit. That is true dual credit in my experience, right? If I'm getting paid and going to school, sign me up. That would be amazing. So why does this matter? This matters for this future of Central Texas. Programs like this are important because they help businesses find skilled workers and students find meaningful careers and communities grow sustainably. So back to the original question, are the schools good? And I would say yes, because Leander ISD is building students that are growing the community and growing sustainability, which helps with home values. You have a sustainable workforce that is able to afford the homes in the area and have the income in order to do that. So the sustainable community means you have students coming out that are ready to hit the workforce, whether it's technical, whether it's here at a local technical, whether it's straight into work, or whether it's college, right? We have options here, which I think is fabulous that the Leander ISD is actually fostering this. Not everybody goes to college. Some people just want to go to trades and go straight into work. And I like that they're focusing and allowing the students to pick their path. So this is one of the main reasons why Leander ISD and Leander and Cedar Park continue to attract families to this region. So if you're considering moving to Cedar Park or Leander or anywhere in the North Austin area, or North Texas, not North Texas. Programs like this are huge for families that choose these communities. And Leander ISD isn't just educating the students, it's preparing kids and the next generation of workers, entrepreneurs, and leaders. So, like I started at the beginning, why is Leander ISD a good school or not? I would point to this program, among a lot of other things. They have solid scores for testing, SAT, ACT, stars, all of that, all solid. Plus you have this. So no matter what flavor your child winds up to be developing, you can rest assured in Leander ISD that they're going to have the support that they're going to need to be successful in life. So if you're looking for homes in the Leander, Cedar Park area, you can contact me you can leave a comment, contact me, and I'd be able to happily to find you your next home or help you get your home sold.